Most people know Nikola Tesla as the man who lit up the world. But what if I told you that behind his genius lay secrets so dark, so bizarre, that they could have changed the course of history, secrets some would kill to keep hidden? Tonight, we uncover the hidden world of Nikola Tesla, the man, the myth, and the shadowy mysteries he left behind. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10th, 1856, in the small village of Smiljan, located in what is now modern-day Croatia. From the very start, his life seemed touched by something extraordinary. Tesla's birth itself was reportedly accompanied by a strange event. A powerful lightning storm lit up the sky, which family lore would later describe as a sign that the boy was destined to have an unusual relationship with electricity. From a very young age, Tesla displayed signs of almost supernatural intelligence. He could memorize entire books and recite passages word for word, often while performing other complex tasks at the same time. His mind operated in a way that was incomprehensible to those around him. He claimed he could visualize entire inventions in his head, turn them over in 3 dimensions, testing their functionality, and seeing exactly how each component would work, all without drawing a single diagram. Tesla's family played a significant role in shaping his extraordinary abilities. His father, Milutin Tesla, was a Serbian Orthodox priest, known for his sharp intellect and strict discipline. Tesla's mother, Duca Tesla, though formerly uneducated, was a remarkable inventor in her own right. She designed household tools and mechanical devices to make life easier on the farm. Tesla often credited her with his inventive mind, saying she had taught him how to see solutions where others saw problems. As a child, Tesla was deeply sensitive to the world around him. He claimed to experience vivid visions, often accompanied by flashes of light, sparks, or hallucinations. Some of these visions were terrifying, while others inspired his first creative ideas. He described seeing machines and devices in his mind in perfect working order, sometimes for hours on end, as if he were observing them in reality. But this brilliance came with a cost. Tesla suffered from odd phobias and obsessive behaviors even as a child. He had an intense fear of germs and became obsessed with the number 3, often walking around a building 3 times before entering. He also experienced extreme sensitivity to bright light and loud noises, which he described as physically painful. His family and neighbors sometimes thought he was strange, but they could not deny the spark of genius that radiated from the boy. Tesla's education began in the local school, where he quickly excelled in mathematics and physics. He was a top student, but even here, he stood out. He reportedly skipped entire lessons because the material was too simple for him, preferring instead to explore complex concepts in electricity, magnetism, and mechanical design on his own. One notable early incident occurred when Tesla was just 7 years old. He was reading a book on electricity and became so fascinated by the idea of capturing lightning in a jar that he spent hours experimenting with magnets, wires, and simple circuits. His father reportedly scolded him for being too absorbed in impossible ideas, but Tesla later credited these early experiments as the spark that ignited his lifelong obsession with electricity. By his teenage years, Tesla was already thinking far beyond the scientific understanding of his era. He became fascinated with alternating currents, electromagnetism, and the possibility of wireless energy. He would spend hours walking alone in fields and forests, meditating on the natural laws of the universe. Tesla claimed that during these solitary walks, he would receive visions of future inventions, including devices that would eventually become the Tesla coil, wireless lighting, and even radio technology. Tesla's early life was also marked by tragedy, which would shape both his character and his later obsessions. His older brother, Dane, died in a horse-riding accident when Tesla was just 5 years old. Tesla reportedly felt a profound sense of guilt and survivor's remorse, saying he felt as though he had borrowed life from another. This trauma haunted him, and some biographers suggest it fueled both his relentless drive and his occasional bouts of obsession and isolation. Beyond his family, Tesla displayed a precocious curiosity about the natural world. He studied insects, birds, and animals, often using them as inspiration for his designs. He was fascinated by the intricate mechanisms of nature, from the wings of a dragonfly to the flow of water in rivers, believing that the universe itself was a vast machine waiting to be understood. By the time Tesla reached secondary school in Karlovac, his mind was already filled with inventions and theories that would have seemed impossible to most. He reportedly memorized entire textbooks on physics and mathematics in days, and became obsessed with creating devices that could harness energy directly from nature, an idea far ahead of his time. Even at this young age, Tesla exhibited a streak of loneliness and isolation. While other children played games and socialized, Tesla preferred hours of contemplation, often visualizing machines, experimenting with magnets and electricity, or walking alone in the countryside. This combination of extraordinary intellect and social isolation would become a hallmark of his life. When Nikola Tesla arrived in New York City in 1884, he carried almost nothing: a small bag of belongings, a letter of introduction to Thomas Edison, and a mind brimming with revolutionary ideas. To most people, he was a fragile immigrant with a strange accent, but within that quiet exterior was a genius who would soon challenge the very foundations of modern technology. Tesla's early days in America were a mixture of brilliant work and extreme hardship. He initially worked for Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park, who had built his fortune on direct current DC electricity. Edison, a man of practicality and profit, found Tesla's ideas strange and often impractical. Tesla proposed improvements to Edison's systems that could have saved an enormous amount of energy, but Edison dismissed them. Frustrated, Tesla eventually left, allegedly telling Edison, "I don't want money. I want to change the world." Almost immediately after leaving Edison, Tesla began working on alternating current, AC, electricity, a concept that would revolutionize power distribution worldwide. Unlike Edison's direct current, AC could travel vast distances efficiently, making it ideal for electrifying entire cities. Tesla developed generators, motors, and transformers that could make this possible, but convincing the world of its safety and efficacy would be a massive struggle. During this time, Tesla also developed his remarkable ability to visualize inventions in their entirety. Unlike most engineers, he rarely sketched ideas on paper. Instead, he could mentally build machines, rotate them, troubleshoot failures, and perfect them, all in his mind. This mental prowess allowed him to design devices that seemed almost impossible to contemporaries. One of Tesla's first major inventions in New York was the induction motor, a device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy without using brushes or contact points. At the time, the concept seemed revolutionary, even mystical. Tesla demonstrated his motor in 1888, and it quickly drew the attention of investors and industrialists. George Westinghouse, a powerful American engineer and businessman, recognized Tesla's genius and purchased his patents for alternating current systems, setting the stage for the famous war of currents between Edison's DC and Tesla's AC. But Tesla didn't stop at electricity. Even during these early years, he dreamed of wireless transmission of energy. He envisioned a world where electricity could be broadcast through the air, lighting homes and powering machines without wires. To Tesla, the Earth itself was a conductor, a gigantic battery, and he believed he could tap into its energy to provide free electricity to humanity. In 1891, Tesla built the Tesla coil, a high-voltage transformer capable of producing spectacular arcs of lightning. When he demonstrated it, sparks leaped from the coil, illuminating the room with a bluish glow. Onlookers were astonished, some terrified. Tesla himself claimed that he could light hundreds of lamps wirelessly using this technology. But while the demonstration amazed audiences, financiers were wary. Free energy could destroy existing business models, and Tesla's ideas were already making powerful enemies. Tesla's early inventions also extended into radio technology. While Guglielmo Marconi is often credited as the inventor of radio, Tesla had demonstrated wireless transmission of signals years before. He experimented with sending electromagnetic waves through the air, lighting lamps at a distance, and even transmitting telegraph messages. Tesla claimed that he could one day communicate with distant planets using his technology, a notion considered science fiction at the time. Despite his genius, Tesla's early career was marked by loneliness and financial struggle. He lived frugally, often going days without proper food or sleep, completely consumed by his experiments. His obsession with perfection led him to work tirelessly, sometimes collapsing from exhaustion. There were nights when Tesla would sit alone in his lab, surrounded by arcs of electricity, scribbling equations on blackboards, speaking to himself, and chasing visions that most could not comprehend. One particularly strange experiment from this period involved Tesla attempting to create artificial lightning storms in his laboratory. He claimed he could produce bolts of electricity over 50 feet long, and there were reports of sparks jumping from his lab to nearby buildings. Birds flying near the lab reportedly fell dead midair, and electrical devices in the vicinity malfunctioned mysteriously. Tesla considered these occurrences proof that he was tapping into forces beyond ordinary comprehension, forces that some might call cosmic or even supernatural. Tesla's inventions during these years weren't just technical, they were visionary. He imagined machines that could transmit messages wirelessly across continents, motors that required no fuel, and devices that could harness the very energy of the planet. But with every invention, Tesla faced increasing opposition from industrialists, skeptics, and even government officials who feared the implications of his work. Perhaps most remarkable was Tesla's ability to dream far beyond his time. While others were content with practical inventions that could be monetized immediately, Tesla's mind constantly wandered to ideas that seemed impossible. Wireless energy towers that could power entire cities, death rays that could defend nations, and machines capable of harnessing cosmic forces. These concepts, once considered insane, are now seen as precursors to modern technologies, from wireless power transmission to particle accelerators. Despite these struggles, Tesla's early inventions laid the foundation for the modern world. His work on alternating current changed the way electricity was distributed and consumed. His experiments with wireless energy and radio signals paved the way for modern telecommunications. And his relentless pursuit of ideas beyond the conventional boundaries of science established him not just as an inventor, but as a visionary, someone who saw possibilities that others could not even imagine. Yet, even in these early years, a shadow followed Tesla. There were whispers of stolen patents, destroyed prototypes, and mysterious accidents surrounding his experiments. Some claimed Tesla had stumbled onto forces that were too dangerous for humanity, and that those in power deliberately sought to suppress or control him. Tesla's inventions were brilliant, yes, but they were also dangerous, capable of reshaping society in ways no one at the time was ready for. By the end of the 1880s, Nikola Tesla was no longer just an inventor. He was a figure of legend. His early works had already challenged the world's understanding of electricity, and yet, for all his brilliance, Tesla remained an enigma, a man of science, a dreamer, and perhaps someone who glimpsed secrets that the rest of humanity could not yet understand. By 1899, Nikola Tesla had reached a critical point in his life and work. Eager to experiment on a scale impossible in New York City, Tesla rented a large laboratory in Colorado Springs, a remote location chosen specifically for high altitude, low humidity, and isolation. Tesla needed space, freedom, and distance from prying eyes. What he achieved there would become some of the most extraordinary and mysterious experiments of his career. Tesla immediately set about creating a laboratory that was unlike anything the world had ever seen. He constructed a massive Tesla coil, capable of generating millions of volts of electricity. The coil itself was enormous, towering nearly 50 feet high, with wires snaking across the laboratory like mechanical tentacles. Tesla also built large antenna towers, intending to use them to transmit electricity wirelessly through the Earth. He believed the planet itself could act as a gigantic conductor, allowing energy to flow across continents without wires. Almost immediately, Tesla began witnessing phenomena that seemed almost supernatural. The laboratory was constantly filled with arcs of blue and white lightning, sometimes stretching across the room with terrifying intensity. Sparks would leap from one piece of equipment to another, creating brilliant but dangerous displays. On several occasions, Tesla claimed that these bolts of electricity could even ignite the air itself, producing visible currents of energy that shimmered like ghostly serpents. Neighbors in Colorado Springs were shocked and terrified. They reported seeing massive flashes of light in the sky and hearing a constant mechanical hum that seemed to emanate from nowhere. Local telegraph and telephone systems occasionally malfunctioned, and some even reported hearing strange whistling or sizzling noises when standing near the laboratory. Tesla himself claimed that he was tapping into the Earth's own electrical resonances, harnessing vibrations and energy that few could even imagine. One of Tesla's most famous claims during this period was that he had discovered signals from outer space. While experimenting with high-frequency electrical currents, Tesla recorded strange repetitive signals that did not correspond to any known natural phenomenon. He speculated that they could be communications from intelligent extraterrestrial beings, though many scientists dismiss these claims as misinterpretations or interference. Tesla, however, was convinced that the universe itself was communicating through electricity, and that his inventions allowed him to listen. In addition to communication experiments, Tesla also conducted tests that bordered on the terrifying. He experimented with resonant frequencies capable of vibrating physical objects. According to his notebooks, Tesla once claimed that he could produce vibrations that would shatter walls or collapse buildings if applied correctly. He even told a friend that a small mechanical oscillator attached to a steel column nearly destroyed his laboratory building because of a resonance effect. Some researchers suggest that these experiments were the precursors to modern earthquake machines. But perhaps the most mysterious aspect of Tesla's Colorado Springs experiments was his ambition to create wireless energy transmission on a global scale. He believed that he could build a network of towers that would harness the Earth's energy, allowing electricity to be transmitted anywhere on the planet without wires. Tesla described a vision in which every home could be powered freely, without dependence on coal, oil, or gas. While the practical realization of this dream proved elusive, Tesla's ideas would influence generations of inventors and engineers long after his death. Despite the brilliance of his work, Tesla's time in Colorado Springs was not without danger. The immense electrical discharges were hazardous, and Tesla himself occasionally suffered electric shocks. There were reports of small fires breaking out in nearby towns, possibly due to stray currents. Tesla, however, treated these dangers as mere side effects of pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Tesla's obsession with the Colorado experiments also took a personal toll. He was completely isolated, living alone in a laboratory, eating simple meals, and working from dawn until late at night. Sleep was sporadic, and he often entered states of near meditative focus, during which he would conduct calculations entirely in his head. His mental and physical endurance during this period was extraordinary, but further emphasized the loneliness that haunted him throughout his life. The Colorado experiments also brought Tesla into contact with the unknown in ways that remain mysterious. Tesla reported phenomena that defied explanation, including sparks that appear to move independently of electrical currents and sounds that seem to emanate from the Earth itself. Some speculate that Tesla may have accidentally tapped into energies beyond conventional physics, forces that most humans are incapable of perceiving. Tesla eventually left Colorado Springs with notebooks filled with meticulous records of his experiments. These writings would become legendary among scientists and conspiracy theorists alike, detailing observations of lightning, energy, and vibrations that remain difficult to explain. Some of these documents would later form the basis for his work on wireless power transmission, radio, and even concepts that resemble modern particle physics. In retrospect, Tesla's time in Colorado Springs represents a turning point in his life and career. It was here that he truly pushed the boundaries of science, flirting with ideas that were decades ahead of his time. It was also here that the seeds of Tesla's mysterious reputation were sown. The man who could seemingly command lightning, hear the vibrations of the earth, and even communicate with the stars. Nikola Tesla's fascination with electricity was more than a scientific pursuit. It was a lifelong obsession that consumed every aspect of his existence. From his earliest experiments in childhood to the towering Tesla coils of his adulthood, he viewed electricity not merely as a tool, but as a living, breathing force that could be harnessed, directed, and, in his mind, even communicated with. Tesla often described electricity in almost mystical terms. He referred to it as the life force of the universe, claiming that every object, every living being, and even the earth itself contained a flow of energy waiting to be unlocked. While other inventors saw wires, generators, and circuits, Tesla saw patterns, vibrations, and invisible currents, a hidden world of power that most could not perceive. His obsession was most evident in his experiments with high-voltage, high-frequency electricity. Tesla spent hours in his laboratories, building machines capable of producing sparks that could stretch dozens of feet. Observers often describe these demonstrations as both mesmerizing and terrifying. Sparks danced through the air like ghostly serpents. Lights flickered on their own, and shadows seemed to twist unnaturally in the glow of electrical arcs. In Colorado Springs, Tesla conducted one of his most famous experiments, creating artificial lightning. He claimed that he could generate bolts of electricity reaching 50 feet or more, and he intended to use them to test the limits of energy conduction through the earth. Locals reported seeing brilliant flashes of blue and white light leaping across the laboratory and into the surrounding countryside. Birds flying nearby reportedly fell dead mid-flight, and nearby telegraph and telephone lines occasionally sparked violently. Tesla's obsession wasn't just about power, it was about control. He believed that by mastering electricity, he could unlock technologies that could change the world forever. He spoke of a time when machines could draw unlimited energy from the environment, eliminating the need for coal, oil, or gas. He envisioned cities powered wirelessly, machines moving without fuel, and humanity freed from the limitations of conventional energy sources. But Tesla's experiments weren't without danger. Electrical arcs of millions of volts were highly unstable and unpredictable. Tesla himself was sometimes shocked, suffering burns and blackouts during experiments. Laboratory fires were not uncommon, and his neighbors often complained of strange noises, flickering lights, and bursts of electromagnetic interference. Tesla treated these dangers as necessary risks on the path to discovery, believing that progress always required sacrifice. Tesla's obsession extended into theoretical applications of electricity as well. He speculated about using electrical energy to influence weather, proposing that enormous currents could be used to create controlled storms. Some scholars argue that Tesla may have been the first person to consider what we now call geoengineering. Other experiments hinted at his interest in military applications. Tesla's writings describe electrical oscillators capable of destroying buildings or disabling engines at a distance. These ideas, while never fully realized, contributed to his reputation as a man capable of harnessing unimaginable power. One particularly chilling anecdote involves Tesla claiming he had witnessed sparks jumping from his Tesla coil into the sky, traveling as if guided by some unseen force. He reportedly told friends that the arcs seemed to have a mind of their own, and that at times he felt as though the electricity was responding to his thoughts. Some historians interpret these statements literally, suggesting Tesla may have been experimenting with electrical fields that interacted with environmental variables in unprecedented ways. Others argue it reflects the intense psychological focus that bordered on obsession. Tesla's fascination with energy also led him to explore vibrations and resonance. He theorized that everything in the universe has a natural frequency, including the Earth itself. By finding and amplifying these frequencies, Tesla believed he could transmit energy across vast distances, shatter obstacles, or even influence the natural world in ways previously thought impossible. One documented experiment involved a small mechanical oscillator attached to a steel girder, which allegedly caused nearby walls to vibrate and produce a phenomenon Tesla described as mechanical electricity. He once joked, or perhaps warned, that he could bring down a building with a single machine if he wished. Tesla's obsession with lightning and energy was also deeply personal. He often worked alone in his lab for days on end, surviving on little food, sleep, or human contact. Electricity was not merely a scientific pursuit. It was a companion, a muse, and, in a sense, a mirror of his own restless mind. His letters and notebooks reveal a man utterly consumed by the pursuit of energy, sometimes to the point of neglecting his own health and well-being. This obsession, however, had consequences beyond the laboratory. Tesla's experiments were so intense and unpredictable that some speculate they may have caused strange phenomena in nearby towns, electrical disruptions, mysterious lights in the sky, and even minor seismic vibrations. While many of these reports were anecdotal, they contributed to the aura of mystery surrounding Tesla, cementing his reputation as a man who danced with forces beyond ordinary human control. By the end of his Colorado experiments, Tesla had not only mastered the technical aspects of high-voltage electricity, but had also developed a vision for humanity's future with energy. He believed that if his ideas were fully realized, they could usher in an era of abundance, eliminate energy scarcity, and even transform the planet itself. Yet, as always, Tesla's genius came with a shadow. Many of his ideas were considered dangerous or impossible, and he increasingly found himself isolated, misunderstood, and opposed by those who feared the implications of his discoveries. Tesla's obsession with lightning and energy was more than science. It was a philosophy. To him, electricity was life, the bridge between the known and the unknown, the tangible expression of the universe's hidden forces. Every spark, every arc, every flash of blue light in his laboratory was a small revelation, a glimpse into the extraordinary possibilities he believed lay just beyond humanity's reach. And it was this obsession that would define not only his inventions, but also the dark, mysterious aura that still surrounds his name today. Nikola Tesla was a man who lived not only in the realm of science and invention, but also in a world dominated by wealth, ambition, and power. His genius inevitably brought him into contact and conflict with some of the most influential figures of his era, men whose ambitions often clashed with Tesla's visionary ideas. These interactions would shape both his career and the dark, mysterious aura that still surrounds his life. Tesla's earliest significant encounter with power was with Thomas Edison, the legendary inventor of the practical light bulb and the champion of direct current DC, electricity. Edison was a man of business first and ideas second, focused on profit, patents, and maintaining control over the electrical industry. Tesla, in contrast, was a visionary obsessed with possibility rather than profit. When Tesla arrived in New York City, he worked briefly for Edison, helping to improve DC generators. Tesla claimed he could make Edison's generators far more efficient with his alternating current ideas. Edison, according to Tesla, laughed at the suggestion, dismissing AC as impractical and dangerous. Some accounts suggest Edison even promised Tesla a large bonus for improvements and then refused to pay it, prompting Tesla to leave the company in frustration. This split marked the beginning of the War of Currents, a battle not just over technology, but over power, influence, and control. Edison launched a public campaign portraying alternating current as lethal, going so far as to stage demonstrations in which animals were electrocuted using AC to prove its danger. Tesla, working with George Westinghouse, tirelessly defended AC, demonstrating that it was not only safe but far more efficient for transmitting electricity over long distances. Westinghouse, a savvy industrialist, recognized Tesla's genius and purchased his patents for AC motors and transformers. This alliance gave Tesla both resources and a platform to showcase his ideas, but it also placed him squarely in the crosshairs of powerful interests. Edison supporters, conservative industrialists, and even politicians viewed Tesla's work with suspicion and hostility. Tesla, despite his brilliance, had no interest in navigating the political and financial machinations of the corporate world, leaving him vulnerable to intrigue and sabotage. Another pivotal figure in Tesla's life was J.P. Morgan, the legendary banker and financier who wielded immense influence over American industry. Tesla approached Morgan with a visionary proposal, a global system for wireless energy transmission. Tesla claimed he could build towers capable of transmitting electricity anywhere on Earth without wires, providing free or near-free power to humanity. Morgan, intrigued but wary, provided funding for Tesla's ambitious Wardenclyffe Tower project. However, Tesla's ideas were far too radical for the practical world of finance. Morgan, while initially supportive, eventually withdrew funding. He reportedly grew concerned that Tesla's free energy concept would undermine existing energy monopolies and upset the balance of industrial power. Tesla was left with an incomplete tower, debts mounting, and his dream of global wireless energy deferred indefinitely. Tesla's interactions with these shadowy figures weren't limited to industrialists. During his later experiments, he became increasingly convinced that government agencies and intelligence operatives were monitoring his work. Tesla believed that some of his inventions, particularly those with potential military applications, were being secretly suppressed. Documents later revealed that after Tesla's death, U.S. government agents confiscated many of his papers, including research notes, diagrams, and technical blueprints. Some of these documents remain classified to this day, fueling speculation about what Tesla really discovered. Tesla's most controversial invention in this regard was his so-called death ray, a particle beam weapon capable of destroying targets at great distances. Tesla attempted to sell the idea to the U.S. government as a defensive tool, claiming it could make wars impossible because nations would fear instant retaliation. While some officials reportedly showed interest, the project was ultimately abandoned or, according to conspiracy theorists, deliberately suppressed. Some believe that fragment of Tesla's work on the death ray may have influenced Cold War-era military technology, though no definitive proof exists. Tesla's dealings with these powerful men highlight the dangerous intersection of genius and power. Edison represented corporate resistance to innovation. Morgan represented financial pragmatism and caution. Governments represented secrecy and control. Tesla, a man driven by vision rather than money, often found himself at odds with all three. He was brilliant enough to invent the future, but too idealistic and uncompromising to navigate the political and financial currents that shaped his world. These struggles had profound effects on Tesla's life. He became increasingly isolated, working tirelessly in his laboratories with little attention to finances, public acclaim, or personal comfort. Friends and colleagues often described him as eccentric to the point of obsession, an eccentricity fueled not only by genius, but also by the knowledge that powerful forces sought to suppress or steal his ideas. Some historians suggest that Tesla's conflicts with powerful industrialists and financiers delayed or even prevented the realization of many of his inventions. Others argue that his visionary thinking was simply too far ahead of its time, threatening the established order and making him a target of intrigue and suspicion. Regardless, these interactions with shadowy figures cemented Tesla's image as a solitary genius, working against both visible and invisible adversaries. In retrospect, Tesla's life reveals a constant tension between innovation and authority, vision and power, science and secrecy. Edison, Morgan, and the various governmental figures in Tesla's orbit were not merely antagonists. They were a reflection of a world unprepared for the possibilities Tesla imagined. His story is not just one of invention, but of courage in the face of opposition from forces far larger than himself. It is in this context that Tesla's genius becomes even more remarkable. Despite financial setbacks, broken alliances, and constant surveillance, he continued to push the boundaries of science, dreaming of technologies that could revolutionize the world. Yet, the shadow of powerful men and possibly secret agencies followed him everywhere, adding an element of intrigue and danger to a life already extraordinary. In the later years of his life, Nikola Tesla's work shifted from groundbreaking inventions to a strange and deeply personal obsession: pigeons. To most people, it seemed bizarre, even eccentric, that one of history's greatest inventors would devote so much time to birds. But for Tesla, these creatures represented something far more profound than companionship. They were a source of comfort, inspiration, and even emotional love. Tesla lived alone in a series of New York hotels, often in cramped and modest rooms despite his fame. As he aged, his isolation deepened. He had few close friends and almost no family around him, and his financial situation was precarious. In this loneliness, he found solace in feeding and caring for pigeons, particularly in Central Park, where he would spend hours observing their flight, behavior, and interactions. According to those who knew him, Tesla formed an extraordinary bond with one white pigeon in particular. He reportedly said that he loved this bird as a man loves a woman, describing it as a source of companionship and emotional support during his most difficult years. Tesla would carry the pigeon into his hotel room, feed it by hand, and spend hours in silent observation. He claimed that the bird was intelligent, understanding, and even capable of expressing emotions, behaviors that seemed to resonate with Tesla's own sensitive and visionary nature. The pigeons were more than pets. They were a symbolic connection to the world outside Tesla's laboratories. To a man who spent his life in isolation, manipulating forces invisible to others, the birds were tangible companions. They offered him a sense of trust, loyalty, and purpose beyond his scientific work. Tesla even claimed that these pigeons communicated with him in ways he could understand, as though they shared a bond of thought and intuition. Tesla's obsession with pigeons also reflected his lonely genius. The inventor had few intimate human relationships, and he often expressed disdain or mistrust for society at large. The pigeons, in contrast, were simple, honest, and unjudgmental. They never demanded recognition, money, or status, qualities Tesla found corrupting in human interactions. In many ways, the birds represented the purity of life, a stark contrast to the intrigue, betrayal, and commercialization that had marked his dealings with Edison, Morgan, and other powerful figures. Some accounts suggest that Tesla saw the pigeons as spiritual companions, bridging the gap between his human existence and his larger vision of the universe. He often remarked on their elegance, grace, and the way they seemed to navigate the world with an innate understanding of energy and flight, almost as if they understood the invisible forces that Tesla spent his life trying to master. Tragically, the white pigeon that Tesla loved deeply died at some point, and it reportedly left him heartbroken. He told friends that he felt physically ill with grief and that he had lost a companion unlike any other. Tesla reportedly said that if the pigeon had died in his hands, it would have been the most profound experience of his life. Some biographers suggest that this loss symbolized not only the end of a personal bond, but also the broader theme of Tesla's life, a man forever at the frontier of discovery, deeply connected to the world, yet ultimately isolated from it. The story of Tesla and the pigeons has inspired both admiration and curiosity. It reveals a side of Tesla rarely emphasized in discussions of his genius: the emotional, the compassionate, and the eccentric. While his inventions push humanity toward the future, his relationship with the pigeons shows a man seeking connection, meaning, and comfort in the simplest forms of life. Tesla's devotion to pigeons also reflected his view of energy and life. He saw patterns in their flight, the way they navigated the skies, and the rhythm of their movement as mirrors of the universal laws he had studied his entire life. He reportedly believed that by observing these birds, he could gain insight into natural phenomena, energy patterns, and even the structure of the cosmos. In a sense, the pigeons became living models of the principles that had guided his scientific imagination since childhood. In the public eye, Tesla's fascination with pigeons contributed to his reputation as an eccentric recluse, a man who had once electrified the world but now spoke to birds in lonely hotel rooms. Yet to those who knew him well, the pigeons were a window into Tesla's humanity, a glimpse of a man who, despite towering intellect and legendary inventions, craved love, companionship, and understanding. Tesla's final years were marked by continued invention and speculation, but the pigeons remained a constant presence. They were both a comfort and a muse, a living reminder of the beauty, grace, and fragility of life itself. In many ways, the story of Tesla and the pigeons encapsulates the paradox of his existence: a man capable of controlling forces as powerful as lightning, yet profoundly vulnerable in matters of the heart. As Nikola Tesla aged, the contrast between his towering genius and his personal circumstances became increasingly stark. By the 1920s and 1930s, Tesla, the man who had illuminated cities and pioneered wireless technology, lived alone in modest hotel rooms in New York City, often struggling with money, health, and the public's attention. Despite his extraordinary contributions to science, Tesla had never been financially secure, and his relentless pursuit of futuristic ideas often put him at odds with investors, industrialists, and society at large. Tesla's final years were marked by isolation, obsession, and continued invention. Even in old age, he remained a visionary, working tirelessly on projects that he believed could change the world. He continued experiments with wireless energy, attempted to perfect his death ray, and even speculated about harnessing cosmic rays. Friends and visitors described Tesla as increasingly eccentric, talking to pigeons, obsessing over numbers, and walking the streets of New York late at night while lost in thought. Despite the eccentricity, Tesla retained an unyielding confidence in his ideas. He remained convinced that his inventions could revolutionize the world, from wireless power transmission to energy weapons that could end all wars. Tesla once declared that one day, humanity would look back and recognize that he had merely glimpsed the surface of nature's secrets, and that the true potential of electricity had yet to be revealed. Tesla's personal habits grew more unusual in these years. He became a vegetarian, claimed to eat only simple meals like milk, bread, and nuts, and limited his sleep to as little as 2 hours a night. He reportedly counted his steps meticulously, obsessed with numbers divisible by 3, and maintained routines that outsiders considered strange. Yet, these quirks reflected a disciplined, methodical mind devoted entirely to discovery. Tesla's eccentricity was not merely a personality trait. It was a reflection of the intensity with which he approached life and science. On January 7th, 1943, Nikola Tesla passed away alone in his hotel room at the age of 86. He died quietly, without fanfare, in a world that both benefited immensely from his genius and largely forgotten him. Yet Tesla's death did not mark the end of the story. It only intensified the mystery and intrigue surrounding him. Within hours of Tesla's death, the U.S. government ordered the seizure of his papers and personal effects. Agents from the Office of Alien Property, a division that handled foreign nationals' assets, collected Tesla's notebooks, diagrams, and technical writings. Some of these documents were classified. Others disappeared entirely, fueling speculation that Tesla had discovered secrets too dangerous or advanced for public knowledge. Historians and conspiracy theorists alike have suggested that these papers contained information about wireless energy weapons, free energy, and possibly even contact with extraterrestrial signals. While some documents were eventually released to the public, many remain missing, and their contents continue to be a subject of debate and fascination. Tesla's legacy is also a story of posthumous recognition and myth-making. For decades after his death, Tesla was overshadowed by contemporaries such as Edison and Marconi. Yet, gradually, the world began to recognize the magnitude of his contributions. His work on alternating current became the standard for global electricity distribution. His pioneering experiments in wireless communication laid the foundation for modern radio, television, and even the internet. The Tesla coil inspired generations of scientists, and today, concepts he explored in theory are being revisited in cutting-edge technologies like wireless energy transfer, renewable energy, and particle physics. Tesla's life has also become the source of legend, myth, and popular fascination. He is remembered as the archetypal mad scientist, a solitary genius at odds with the world. Stories of his obsession with pigeons, his visions of futuristic inventions, and his dramatic experiments with lightning and energy have cemented his image as both a scientific pioneer and an enigmatic figure. Films, books, and documentaries often portray Tesla as a man who glimpsed the hidden forces of the universe, a genius misunderstood in his own time. The mystery surrounding Tesla's later life and his papers has inspired countless theories and speculations. Some claim that his inventions could have provided free, limitless energy, transforming civilization. Others argue that government agencies or powerful industrialists deliberately suppress his work to maintain control over energy and technology. While the truth may never be fully known, what is undeniable is that Tesla's ideas continue to inspire scientists, engineers, and innovators around the world. Tesla's story is ultimately a paradox. A man who touched the lightning of the universe, who imagined technology centuries ahead of his time, and yet who lived and died largely unrecognized and isolated. His life reminds us that true genius often exists at the edge of comprehension, where brilliance meets obsession, and where the line between visionary insight and eccentricity is razor-thin. Today, Tesla is celebrated not only for his inventions, but also for his vision, imagination, and courage. From the electric grids that power our cities to the wireless devices in our hands, traces of Tesla's genius are everywhere. And perhaps most importantly, his life story continues to captivate us. A tale of extraordinary intellect, relentless curiosity, and a man who chased the secrets of the universe, sometimes to the very edge of human understanding. Nikola Tesla's life and inventions were not confined to the 19th or early 20th century. In fact, his ideas continue to shape the modern world in ways that many people fail to recognize. From electricity grids to wireless devices, Tesla's visionary work laid the foundation for technologies we now take for granted. But his influence goes far beyond what is visible on the surface. Tesla's most obvious and enduring contribution is alternating current, AC, electricity. Before Tesla, Thomas Edison's direct current, DC, systems dominated urban electrical infrastructure. DC was limited in range and highly inefficient for transmitting power over long distances. Tesla's AC system, however, allowed electricity to be transmitted efficiently across entire cities, states, and even continents. Today, almost all electricity grids around the world rely on alternating current, a testament to Tesla's genius. Every light that flickers on in a modern home, every appliance that hums to life, owes a debt to his invention. Beyond AC power, Tesla's experiments in wireless energy transmission were remarkably ahead of their time. Concepts that he explored with his Tesla coils and Wardenclyffe Tower, wireless communication, energy transfer, and electromagnetic resonance, are now the basis for technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and wireless charging. Modern engineers continue to build upon Tesla's theories, attempting to create efficient systems that transmit energy without the need for wires. His experiments were not just theoretical. They were a blueprint for the wireless world we now inhabit. Tesla also played a foundational role in radio and telecommunications. While Guglielmo Marconi is often credited with inventing the radio, Tesla demonstrated wireless transmission of signals years earlier and even patented key components. Modern radio, television, and cellular networks owe much to Tesla's work on electromagnetic waves and signal propagation. Without Tesla's insights, the age of instant communication across the globe might have been delayed by decades. Even in fields far beyond electricity and communication, Tesla's influence can be seen. His research on resonance and vibration foreshadowed aspects of modern engineering, seismology, and particle physics. Some of his experiments hinted at the possibility of energy weapons, and while these were never realized in his lifetime, similar concepts were explored during the 20th century in military and aerospace technologies. Tesla's ideas about harnessing cosmic energy, once dismissed as fantastical, continue to inspire researchers studying renewable energy, space-based power systems, and advanced physics. Tesla's legacy also extends into the realm of innovation culture and visionary thinking. He was a man who dared to dream beyond the limits of his time, imagining machines and technologies centuries ahead of the industrial age. Modern inventors, engineers, and scientists frequently cite Tesla as an inspiration, an archetype of genius who combines creativity, persistence, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Companies such as Tesla Incorporated, which revolutionized electric vehicles, deliberately honor his name, signaling the ongoing cultural and technological resonance of his ideas. Moreover, Tesla's life highlights the intersection of science, ethics, and humanity. He envisioned technologies that could benefit all of humanity: free energy, wireless power, and even devices to prevent war. While many of these visions were never fully realized, they continue to inspire discussions about the responsible use of technology and the potential for science to transform society. In an age grappling with energy crises, climate change, and technological inequality, Tesla's work remains deeply relevant. Even his lesser-known ideas, such as the Tesla turbine and innovations in robotics and automation, have influenced modern engineering. The Tesla turbine, a bladeless rotor powered by fluid dynamics, is now being revisited for highly efficient energy systems. His insights into automation and machines hinted at the possibilities of modern robotics, artificial intelligence, and smart devices, demonstrating that his imagination extended far beyond the laboratories of his time. Tesla's influence is also visible in popular culture, inspiring countless books, films, and documentaries. He has become the quintessential figure of the mad scientist archetype, a symbol of genius and obsession, innovation and eccentricity. Yet behind the myth lies a man whose practical and theoretical contributions continue to ripple through the modern world, shaping how we live, communicate, and harness energy. In many ways, Tesla's vision was not fully realized in his lifetime, but the seeds he planted continue to grow. From the power in our homes to the signals that connect the globe, from wireless charging pads to the electric cars on our roads, Tesla's fingerprints are everywhere. His life serves as a reminder that true genius often operates ahead of its time, sometimes ignored, sometimes misunderstood, but always shaping the future in ways unseen. Today, Tesla's stories are called innovators and dreamers. To imagine boldly, pursue ideas relentlessly, and embrace the unknown. His legacy is more than just wires, motors, and sparks. It is a very spirit of innovation, a testament to what humanity can achieve when genius meets determination. Nikola Tesla was not just a man of science. He was a figure whose life and work had become entwined with mystery, legend, and conspiracy theories. Even decades after his death, people continue to speculate about the full scope of his discoveries, the secrecy surrounding his inventions, and the shadowy forces that may have sought to suppress his genius. This enduring mystique has elevated Tesla from historical figure to cultural icon, a symbol of human ingenuity, obsession, and the unknown. Tesla's life was already unusual in his time. A solitary genius, eccentric habits, obsessive routines, and deep immersion in his experiments all contributed to his reputation as mad or otherworldly. Stories of him speaking to pigeons, walking alone for hours while counting steps, or claiming to receive signals from outer space blurred the line between science and legend. Yet it is precisely these behaviors, combined with his monumental inventions, that made him a figure of fascination for scientists, writers, and conspiracy theorists alike. One of the most persistent threads of Tesla mystique revolves around the missing papers and confiscated documents, after his death in 1943. Immediately after Tesla passed away, the U.S. government seized much of his work, citing national security concerns. While some papers were later released, many were never seen again. Conspiracy theories suggest these documents contain secrets of advanced weaponry, free energy devices, or even methods of tapping into cosmic or zero-point energy. Some even speculate that Tesla had glimpsed forms of energy that could have fundamentally changed the world, and that powerful corporations or governments deliberately suppressed them to maintain control over energy and technology. Another enduring theory concerns Tesla's alleged death ray or particle beam weapon. Tesla claimed that such a device could destroy targets hundreds of miles away, effectively making war impossible. While never realized in his lifetime, the concept sparked speculation that some of Tesla's work may have influenced secret military projects, including Cold War-era energy weapons. UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists have even linked Tesla's experiments with unexplained aerial phenomena, suggesting he may have discovered technologies that remain hidden from the public eye. Tesla's fascination with wireless energy and global power transmission also fuels mystery. The Wardenclyffe Tower, intended to transmit energy wirelessly across continents, was never completed due to lack of funding. Some theorists propose that Tesla had discovered a method to provide free energy to the world, and that vested interests deliberately prevented its completion. The idea that Tesla might have been on the verge of unlocking limitless, clean energy only to be stopped by powerful industrialists adds to the aura of intrigue surrounding his life. Even beyond technological conspiracies, Tesla's visionary thinking has contributed to his legendary status. He speculated about harnessing the energy of the sun and cosmic rays, suggested the possibility of communicating with extraterrestrial life, and dreamed of devices capable of transforming the natural world. While much of this was speculative or theoretical, it cemented the idea that Tesla's mind operated on a level far beyond ordinary human comprehension. Tesla's mystique is further amplified by the stories of his personal eccentricities, which often bordered on the supernatural. He claimed to have visions triggered by electrical phenomena, calculated complex designs entirely in his head without models, and described electricity as a living force that he could intuitively sense. These accounts, combined with his dramatic experiments with lightning, created a persona that seemed to straddle the boundary between reality and myth. In popular culture, Tesla has become a figure of mythic proportions. Films, books, and documentaries depict him as a solitary genius fighting against powerful adversaries, glimpsing technology centuries ahead of his time, and even communicating with extraterrestrials. From comic books to video games, Tesla is often portrayed as the archetype of the brilliant inventor who is misunderstood, feared, or suppressed, an enduring symbol of what happens when genius collides with a world unprepared for it. The conspiracy theories and legends surrounding Tesla are not merely fanciful stories. They reflect a deeper fascination with what is possible when human imagination pushes beyond the conventional boundaries of science. People are captivated by the idea that Tesla may have been capable of discoveries so advanced that they could revolutionize energy, communication, and even our understanding of the universe. Whether these claims are true or exaggerated, they highlight the profound impact of Tesla's life and ideas on human imagination. Tesla's mystique is also tied to his unrealized visions. Many of his inventions and proposals, free energy, wireless global power, energy weapons, and methods of harnessing cosmic forces, were never completed. This leaves a tantalizing what a scenario for the modern world. A man who may have been capable of creating technologies that could have reshaped civilization, and whose work remains partially hidden or unexplored. Ultimately, Tesla's enduring mystique is a combination of genius, eccentricity, isolation, and secrecy. It is a story that appeals to both the rational and imaginative, blending historical fact with speculation, invention with mystery. The fascination with Tesla is unlikely to fade because his life represents something timeless. The tension between human potential and societal constraints, the intersection of science and imagination, and the possibility that there are still secrets in the universe that only the most brilliant minds can glimpse. For modern audiences, Tesla remains a symbol of what humanity can achieve when we dare to dream beyond the ordinary. His life encourages curiosity, resilience, and a willingness to challenge convention, reminding us that the boundary between genius and madness is often just a thin line, and that some of the greatest discoveries may lie just beyond what we think is possible. Nikola Tesla's influence stretches far beyond the scientific achievements of his own lifetime. Today, he is revered not only as a brilliant inventor, but also as a cultural icon, a symbol of imagination, perseverance, and a pursuit of ideas far ahead of their time. His life story, filled with mystery, genius, and eccentricity, continues to inspire modern scientists, engineers, writers, and dreamers alike. Tesla's legacy in popular culture is remarkable. He has appeared in countless films, documentaries, video games, and books, often portrayed as the archetypal mad scientist or visionary genius. In some portrayals, he is a solitary figure battling powerful industrialists or government conspiracies. In others, he is a visionary who glimpses the future of energy, communication, and technology. His life story, combining triumphs, failures, and eccentricity, resonates because it reflects a timeless narrative, a brilliant mind striving against societal limitations to unlock the secrets of the universe. Tesla's influence is particularly visible in the world of technology and innovation. Modern engineers, inventors, and entrepreneurs often cite Tesla as a source of inspiration. The very name Tesla has been immortalized in Tesla Incorporated, the electric vehicle and clean energy company, which explicitly draws on his legacy to symbolize innovation, sustainability, and futuristic vision. The company's mission to revolutionize energy usage, electric cars, and renewable technologies reflects the same ideals Tesla pursued over a century ago. Beyond corporate homage, Tesla's work continues to influence scientific research. His experiments with wireless energy transmission, electromagnetic fields, and resonance are being revisited in contemporary labs. Researchers in wireless power, advanced communications, renewable energy, and even space-based energy systems are building upon Tesla's theories, attempting to realize ideas that he had once only dreamed of. Tesla's work serves as a bridge between 19th century experimentation and 21st century innovation, proving that his ideas were not only visionary but enduringly relevant. Tesla has also inspired the STEM and educational communities. Teachers and educators use his story to motivate students to pursue science and engineering, emphasizing curiosity, resilience, and the courage to explore uncharted ideas. His life demonstrates that failure, isolation, and societal misunderstanding are not obstacles to genius. Rather, they're often part of the journey toward breakthroughs that can change the world. Tesla's dedication to experimentation and relentless pursuit of knowledge has become a template for modern innovators, encouraging young scientists to think boldly and unconventionally. In addition to inspiring technology and education, Tesla's story continues to influence art, literature, and philosophy. Writers explore his life in biographies, novels, and speculative fiction, often blending historical fact with imaginative interpretations. His eccentricities, visions of the future, and unique approach to science make him a compelling subject for storytelling. Philosophers and futurists also draw on Tesla's ideas to discuss human potential, the ethical use of technology, and the relationship between science and society. His life raises profound questions about how humanity handles revolutionary ideas and the tension between innovation and societal norms. Tesla's cultural legacy is amplified by the enduring mysteries and conspiracies surrounding his life. The confiscation of his papers, the incomplete Wardenclyffe Tower, and his more speculative inventions, such as the death ray or wireless free energy, continue to fuel public fascination. These mysteries make Tesla a figure who transcends history, bridging the worlds of fact and speculation, science and myth. People are captivated by the notion that his genius may have unlocked secrets the world has yet to fully understand. Tesla's story also serves as a cautionary tale about the intersection of genius, society, and power. While he revolutionized the world with his inventions, he often struggled with financial instability, societal misunderstanding, and exploitation by powerful industrialists. His life demonstrates both the potential and the peril of extraordinary creativity in a world that is not always ready for revolutionary ideas. Yet, despite these struggles, Tesla's spirit of innovation remains immortal, inspiring generations to pursue the impossible. Even in the modern age of technology, Tesla's influence is everywhere, from the wireless devices we use daily to the renewable energy research shaping the future. His vision of a world powered by clean, accessible energy, wireless communication, and limitless innovation continues to guide scientists and inventors toward solutions once considered unattainable. Tesla's enduring cultural and technological legacy proves that true genius is timeless and that the ideas of one visionary mind can continue to shape humanity long after their life has ended. In essence, Nikola Tesla's legacy is not just in the machines he built or the electricity he harnessed. It is in the spirit of imagination, curiosity, and relentless pursuit of knowledge that he embodied. He reminds us that to innovate is to challenge the world, to question assumptions, and to explore the unknown. Tesla's life continues to inspire those who dare to dream, to invent, and to shape the future, proving that even the most extraordinary genius cannot be confined by time, society, or circumstance. Nikola Tesla's life is a paradox. Celebrated yet lonely, revolutionary yet suppressed, a genius surrounded by mysteries. He left the world electricity, wireless communication, and dreams of unlimited energy, but also unanswered questions, hidden technologies, and shadows that may still linger today. The truth about Tesla's secrets may never be fully known. But one thing is certain. Behind every invention, behind every spark of genius, lies potential for both light and darkness. And Nikola Tesla walked that line like no one else.